Hello friends, start. Hello friends, welcome to channel 11. Today I am going to give some explanation about how to view or inspect HTTP traffic using Fiddler Classic tool. So I also explain how to debug the request and response using Fiddler HTTP traffic. So this is the website I have downloaded from this website. If you wanted to use Fiddler, you have to go here telric.com and download, and I have download it now. So this is the tool. It looks like, and so at present I have stopped capturing. Suppose if you wanted to capture all your traffic, we have short shortcut here. If you click here, so if you observe here, it is showing capturing. Now it is started capturing all my web browser requests. So if you wanted to, if you click here, it will show which one you want. So now I want to go for web browser requests only. So now it is started capturing all traffic related to my web browsers. So at present, so I am open these websites, and this is my one web API. I will show you to how to capture the request response to this web API. At present it started capturing everything. So let me go and refresh my page. I put some debug points. For time being I will disable that. So I disable all my debug points. So now it is, let me go and refresh it again. So if you see here, it started capturing that my web API. So if you double click here under this, and now the details will get loaded here. So this is the request section, this is the response section. So if you wanted to see what is the headers details, I mean, so like what is the type, HTTP type, and the URL, and along with the what is the encodings, and what is the accept encoding, and so content types. All these details will be here in request headers. So if you wanted to, if you are passing any URLs, I mean query strings details, this all will show it here in this request header section. This is the response section. So here you can see that what is the response from the web API. So I am passing the JSON details. So this is the JSON details, and we can see different modes. This is a header, and you can see the response codes here. And if you go for text view, you can see that result as in text. And if you wanted to, this is the text, and we have JSON also. This is a JSON. By default it is JSON, and you can see XML also. So but in my web API it is only written in JSON, that's why there is no XML here. And if your web API is also having that I mean, while sending, if you send your accepting XML, it should show that here. So at present it is not showing. So this is the raw response, and if it has cookies. So these details, if you go through each tab, you will find all the relevant details. Web view, this is a web view. This exa view, this is image if it has. So this is how you can see request and response related HTTP. So now if you don't want to capture everything, and we want to go for only particular website, then we have option here, that is the filters. So under this filters, I don't want to capture everything, I just wanted to capture only my website web API. So if you enable this one, if you observe here, you have to write like this, not for HTTP, something like that. So you have to write after you update, you click run filter now, so that these changes will start using immediately. If you observe here, all my changes has gone, only it's capturing my web API request. Let's go and try once again. Let's see. If you see here, all my previous, it's not capturing it. Suppose if I go for a different website, google.com, so it won't capture that. It's capturing only my web APIs. So that how you can minimize and you can set only what required website here. And the same way, if you wanted to see the detail, you just double click here, it will load all the details here. And this is the inspector section, and if you wanted to go and run from, we have the composer here. So under the composer, you can test your web APIs from here. Suppose let's take that I want to suppose sometimes you didn't have user interface and you wanted to test your web APIs. Using composer section, we can do that. For timing, I will use get and the same URL. So you have to see, you have to put what is the action method for this web APIs. So this is web get. So I am using that URL here, and so these are all same, and we can update whatever you want. You want XML, you can write here. And let's go, let me go and execute this. So it got success. So it got success, and if I go here composer, if I so if you observe here, if you want to log this each request, if you have to check and execute here, now you can see that it's executed successfully. So I can see the view. The same way, if you wanted to post, you can use post here, and so I have already uh, there is I already executed previous, I can use that. And if you wanted to go for post, this is the post you have to select and the corresponding URL, and you have to set your uh, request body with details. So that's what you want, that's the details you have to add here. So you can now also upload the file if you are already uh, so it will show what is the raw and tabs. So once you are satisfied, just click execute. So if you observe here, it's executed successfully. This is my post, and if you see here, observe here, so this is my request details in my post, and so I can see that text view, and you can also see in JSON details and XML. If you it doesn't have anything, and if you go for C for means response body, so it is returning some error. The results since it is written error, but state internals are required, please contact. So it is showing, it is throwing error from that service, from the web API, even though it is showing result as 200 success, but if you see that JSON, it's showing status as 500, some internal error. Let's see that, I will verify that what is the issue. and this is the headers details. And if you want to see the JSON and internal server record, please contact system administrator. So let me see that what is the error. So let me debug this. Let's debug. So let me debug means you can see how to test that web API. So here if we go for composer, so I am trying to execute this method with these details. So I put the debug my controller. So the method name is add shopping cart. Add shopping cart. Add shopping cart. I think there is no method. I think method name is wrong. Add laptop, add configuration. Let's see that. So I think add configuration. I will go for this method. Add configuration. Let's execute this. Add configuration. Sorry. So I put the debug point here, and let me go and execute this. So if you observe here, stop debug here in my. So this way we can verify our web APIs. We don't have user interface. So I think it got succeeded. So if you observe traffic here, so configuration added successfully, and if you see that our request details, so this is I'm passing, and this is what I got reply from web API. So I think you understand how to execute using composer, test our web APIs, and you can also observe how to restrict only for a few sites. You can update here. Now I will show you how to debug using not from here, and how to um, I mean so how to inspect and I mean to inspect traffic mark modifies. So how to modify the request, I will show it now, as well as response using debug points in Delric. So to debug our request, we have the one command, that is break so create a request breakpoint for the for the specific HTTP method. So I want to put a breakpoint to my HTTP method. So so this is the command if you wanted to put the breakpoint, and we can modify the request. So this is the command. Let me go. If you wanted to run the command, you have to go here and post. So now my debug point enabled for the post. So let me go on composer. So let add the same thing here and execute. So I think there's some issue. Let's see that again. So the problem here is, suppose if you wanted to debug from your Telric tool, you have to click all, not for web, because the here request is not coming from the web browser, it's from Telex. So I select all here. Now I want to debug my post and modify. I wanted to modify my request details. So the command is so I want to put the breakpoint for my request bpv post. So you wanted to anytime wanted first time you wanted to come for help, just click help here, it will automatically come to that page, open that page. So the same page. So just for your information, so you have to, if you wanted to put the breakpoint for your post method and wanted to modify the request details, you have to use bpv post. So I'm using now bpv post, and please remember how to put all process here. So now I will go to my composer and I will add shopping cart. I will select tab and shopping cart. This is my request, and let me go and execute. Try to execute. If you observe here, it stopped here, means it is started stop for debugging. So if you double click here, if you observe here, so breakpoint hit tamper then. So you can tamper your details, like you can modify your request details. So I will go for here and I will just remove all. So now I removed everything for my request, and let's see that if I run here now, what will come. So if you see here, it will return as a bad request, because I removed all my request details. So if you see 400 is bad request. So this is how you can test your web APIs. All kinds of unit test you can do that, and by debugging and updating the request details. So yeah, let me try once again. So if you by composer, and I am passing these details, and so let's code once again, execute this, and it stopped debugging. I came here and using request you can update whatever you want, and like you can remove id. So I'm sending empty id, and I wanted to test run the complete. If you click the run complete, second is bad request. So because there is no id, suppose if you again same thing, if you wanted to run without anything, so if you observe it, it is added successfully. So if you see the text view, I think I clicked something wrong one. Let me go and add shopping cart. Now if suppose if you want to stop debugging, you just use bpv only without anything, so it won't do the debugging for you. So what is that? Add shopping cart. Let's do that. Yeah. So I think there is no add shopping cart I'm using now. Add configuration. So I will go for add configuration and remove everything. So let's do that. So bad request, if I see here, so the configuration already exists. So let me go once again. bpv. So let's go for update configuration. It is still debugging. As per this document, it should clear actually. PM. I'll use PPM. I will do one thing. I will stop this one. I will start. Maybe this might work sometime. I think as per this document, call with no parameter to clear. So actually it shouldn't do that. It will disable parameter, but I'm doing the same. But it will work. I'm sure that somehow it is not doing here. So like this we can debug. So let me do that proper update here. Suppose I am saying RAM and description 8 GB price. So means it is already there. Let me go and intercept this and update with the different details. So actually it should expect it's already there, but using this debug I can update the request details and I can verify my. So now I am updating RAM1. Actually RAM already there, but I am updating RAM1. So if I run this one, I should get successful because I have updated with with wrong value. So I hope you understand, right? So using this technique we can update request details. So so our web API should able to handle this kind of requests. So it should not add, in this case it should be throw something like uh, data has been modified or something like that kind of update. So now I will put response breakpoint. So if I wanted to put response breakpoints, so this is the way. So we have to set BPS the status. So now I will go here, BPS 200. So let me go and use same thing, my response. So this is the request. So now I will go to my composer and I will add RAM updated. So this is my, I have updated, there is no RAM updated name. So if I execute this, it should stop because it is returning 200 status. So now so actually it is returning to add it successfully. But if I go to my raw, so I am updating, error has occurred. Error. Let's see that I can update 400. So I can update my response and in middle, and if I run this one, let's see that. So it is throwing error occurred with 400 bad request. So this way we can update response in middle, and we can we can update response in middle, and we can show different output to the user. This is how we can update request and response details. So to the clarity, so now I can put the breakpoint for my get here. So like so this I have put the breakpoint for my get. Let's go and execute the get. I will execute from here. So my debug point stopped, and now in my text view, in my in my response I'm just removing everything, and so it stopped in request as well as response. So if you see in browser, you didn't see anything because I have removed all the response details from the using Fiddler. This how we can update the request and response in middle, and we can verify our web APIs using so it will help us to do unit testing of web APIs or all kinds of HTTP and HTTPS request and response details as it mentioned here. And I hope you understand how to debug using the command. So these are the commands we are having. So BPS 400 for breakpoint for response, uh, a request for BPB and BPM with the action methods. So 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 I hope you at the same time using filters we can filter only specific websites, and using composer we can, without using interface, we can execute our web API requests action methods, web APIs. We can unit test that using inspector. We can see that request and response body details here. I hope you understand, and please let me know if you need anything. And we have the, so if you don't want capture, you just click the here, it will disable the capture, as well as if you want to capture only particular, we have the options. And if you want to go for help, you just click the help. And if you see here, if you execute this command, you can observe here that details are request method breakpoint for get. Suppose if you disable that, so request method breakpoint cleared, so there is no breakpoints for. So uh, I hope you understand, and thanks for your time, and please share your feedback.